Okay, so before I get started into the video, I wanted to say that I've created this channel to showcase my voice. My dream is to become a voiceover artist or a narrator for documentaries and whatnot. My other goal is to entertain you guys. Also, these first few episodes are probably not going to be the best due to the fact that it's just me and I am not very experienced yet with like editing and everything. So with that being said, thank you very much for being here and let's get into it. Okay, so in Japan, there's a system called the Family Computer, whereas most North Americans called it the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES. My best friend as a kid, you know who you are, had an original Nintendo. We played all sorts of awesome games like Excite Bike, Zelda, Ninja Gaiden, and multiple other games. Because of this, I was hooked on that 8-bit magic machine. So in 1987, NEC Home Electronics launched the PC Engine, which was the start of the video game era for me, in my opinion. Seeing the love that the PC Engine was getting, a little company called Sega entered the picture with a little console called the Mega Drive in 1988. In 1989, North America got a taste of that video game glory with the TurboGrafx 16. And Sega also farted out the Sega Genesis just to keep up with Nintendo. Because the NES was getting the shaft, basically because the TurboGrafx 16 and Sega, the Sega Genesis offered better sound quality and improved graphics over its 8-bit little freaking brother, the Nintendo. Nintendo revealed the development of the Super Famicom system on September 9th, 1987, in a newspaper called the Kyoto Shimbun. Then Nintendo president Hiroshi Yamauchi, who had a very long reign from April 25th, 1949 to stepping down on May 24th, 2002. 53 years this man was with Nintendo. Yamauchi stated in an interview with Touch Magazine that they were in development of Super Mario Bros. 4, Dragon Quest V, and a few other untitled games. This news was huge for gamers. It had everyone completely bonered up for their release. During this Touch Magazine interview, Yamauchi pointed out that the sales of the NES or Famicom system were slowly declining due to its release 2 years earlier. Yamauchi also stated that the players would eventually get bored using the Famicom system and probably move on to better quality games, which would be an absolute dangerous situation for Nintendo. The console was demonstrated to the Japanese on November 21st, 1988, and again on July 28th, 1989. Yamauchi had also stated that they were delaying the release of the Super Famicom system to the fall of 1990. This was due to a distinct lack of software from third-party developers and the global chip shortage due to a relatively new generation of semiconductor and chip technology that forced manufacturers to split production capacity. The production was extremely expensive, which drove the prices up the asses of gamers everywhere. The final design of the Super Famicom system was unveiled at the second Shoshinki show, which was held between August 28th and 29th of 1990. The demonstration contained several prototype games, which included some bangers like Super Mario World, SD Great Battle, Big Run, and F-Zero. These games scorched the way, especially Super Mario World and F-Zero, with a great reception from wide-eyed enthusiasts and gamers alike. This contributed to the white-knuckled, anxiety-filled anticipation of the Super Famicom system's launch. Because of this demonstration, Nintendo received 1.5 million pre-orders. Again, 1.5 million pre-orders from wholesalers worldwide. This made Nintendo somewhat nervous that the day of the launch would be a royal freaking rumble for sure. But wait, hold up. There was a way around this. Nintendo recommended that retailers install a reservation system when selling the console. Also, on the day right before the launch, Nintendo executed Operation Midnight Shipping. This operation entailed Nintendo to load 100 trucks early in the morning with the Super Famicom systems, and alongside with F-Zero and Super Mario World cartridges. So in the same day, Operation Midnight Shipping was in effect. The Yakuza, thieves, robbers, all-around douchebags, Nintendo knew to send these orders out late at night to ward off any shitty people, the underbelly of society. The final design was done by the legendary designer Masayuki Yumira, as well as the designer of the original Famicom or NES. A little background on Yumira. Yumira was born June 20th, 1943, and sadly passed on December 6th, 2021. He was a Japanese engineer, video game producer, and professor, but Yumira was best known for his role at Nintendo from 1971 to 2004, most notably known for serving as a key factor in the development of the family computer system. Yumira is also a former Sharp Corporation employee, but joined Nintendo in 71, like previously mentioned. He had worked with Gunpei Yokoi and Genyo Takeda on solar cell technology for the laser clay shooting arcade games. I remember these games too, they were freaking rad. After becoming the general manager of Nintendo R&D2, Yumira served as the lead architect for the family computer and Super Famicom consoles. After retiring in 2004, Yumira became the director of video game studies at Ritsumeikan University. On November 21st, 1990, the Super Famicom system was finally released in Japan for about 25,000 yen. The initial 300,000 units sold out in hours. Honestly, that's impressive. The Super Famicom was an absolute success, selling out in hours, which provoked the Japanese government to ask video game manufacturers to schedule their releases on the weekends. The Yakuza had seen this, so Nintendo, like I said earlier, had to ship really early in the morning so they don't get robbed. The Super Famicom was absolutely outselling its rivals, asserting Nintendo's dominance of the Japanese video game industry. Nintendo released the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES, a beautiful redesign, might I add, of the Famicom in North America on August 23rd, 1991 for about $199, equivalent to about $460 in 2024. The official nationwide release was on September 9th, 1991. So if you were a 90s kid like me, then you undeniably know the greatest Nintendo system ever. You know the sounds, the colors, the feel of the controller, heck, even blowing into the freaking cartridge just to make it work. So for me, the SNES is a benchmark in video game history, the best 16-bit console by far in my opinion. Just thinking about it brings me back.